Hello everybody, it's Bubba Rob. How's it going? Double thumbs up. Okay, awesome. I hope you're having a good day. I'm in the dump truck. Oh, geez, what a day. What a day this morning. What a day yesterday. Oh, so much shit going on. Pardon the shit part. Oh, yeah, it's a beautiful day today. I'm so glad, you get up and just breathe the air and think, wow. But anyways, my topic of the day is telling your story. And the reason I'm telling it, this is my topic. It usually hits me in the morning as I'm sipping my tea, right? After my doom scrolling through YouTube and stuff that's happened the last few days, right? And I try and think of something, if you can relate to it mindfully and stoically and how to improve things, and it's important. So anyways, my where was I going with this? Oh yeah, telling your story. Without getting into it, there's some stuff that happened yesterday that I was involved with, dealing with some other people, and it was to do with like health issues. And I was watching a thing on Big Think today. God, I should have wrote down notes of the author was talking about AI and controlling people and truth and storytelling. And then I was watching an older video of Robert Greene talking about the importance of meditation. And then, of course, then I had my tea with my friend Jeff, and we started talking about all this stuff and melting it all together. And I kind of want to be careful how I say it because I don't want to offend anybody. But, the one thing that's so important to me when I get up in the morning, and I don't realize it all the time, but it really hit me today. But when I get up in the morning and I meditate and I try and control my thoughts and let things pass, there's such a huge relief, and I'm able to let things go quicker, because the stuff that happened yesterday really, really upset me, and it was kind of difficult to deal with. But because I believe I have that relief with the meditation and the work I've put in on studying philosophy and the mindfulness part, I was able to circumvent what was going on in a manner that greatly reduced my stress level. And by that, I was able to have discussions with what was going on and slow things down and make it actually better for everybody. Now, what I mean by telling your story is things got out of hand yesterday because the story that was being told was negative, and it was out of fear, and which creates anxiety. And to make a long story short, the outcome of what was going on was nothing even close to what was thought of. And so, we get in a habit as individuals to tell a story. We get in a habit of doing things or telling stories and we can be addicted to things that are negative. It's just kind of what happens. There's lots of philosophical reasons, psychological reasons, physiological reasons, chemicals, things that are going on with the brain, that if we behave in a certain manner, we repeat those patterns. And it's very, very difficult to change that story. But you're really ultimately responsible for the story that you tell yourself. Even though our thoughts, I don't even think they completely understand where they come from, but they come somewhere in your brain, in your consciousness. But where it is extremely important is when you recognize those things, if you can take a step back and really think about them, and think about what you're saying, is this really based on truth, of actual factual knowledge? Or is this based on fear and anxiety? Right? Because if you're making your decisions based on that, you're not only affecting yourself, you're affecting the others around you. And sometimes you got to be thinking of that. This isn't to poke the bear at anybody, but everything's connected. Something I talk about, everything's connected. Everything with our health is connected. We can, and I'm not a doctor or scientist or anything, but I really believe that because everything is connected, we can really make ourselves sicker than we are. And we can proliferate things, pardon my tongue there, and make them, larger than they are, and actually affect things like, for example, rates of cancer growth or heart health, or because of stress, a collection of, say, plaque in your arteries. Again, I'm not a doctor, but I'm sure there's many studies out there to prove that. You'd have to just go search for them. So really, to be mindful and be present and really check into those practices to slow yourself down, to actually change the story you're telling yourself. Right? Do you want to have a happier life or don't you? That's really within you. That's not with somebody else. And if there's somebody else that's bringing negativity to you, how do you deflect that and try and turn it into a positive? How do you establish your boundaries? Yeah, right. There's nothing good that can come into your mouth if nothing good goes into it, right? We're a product of our environment. We're a product of the people we associate ourselves with. We're a product of what we listen to. We're a product of what we say. We're a product of what we read. We're a product of what we watch. It all affects us. And if it's really bothering you, please try and make the change. If you need help, professional help to do it, do it. Be cognizant of what you're watching on the idiot box, right? It's out there, and it's not a coincidence that there's a lot more negativity now than there used to be, right? We got to become a better community again and help people out. Be kind, right? you know. Hi, my phone messed up in the video, so I'm got to do my ending here, okay? Remember, the most important thing is to be kind in this life and be kind to yourself, right? That's it. Let's enjoy our days. Let's be thankful for getting up, okay? Hope you all have a great day. Bye-bye.